Right, so we start round 4 by double crochet into the first stitch. So once you've come back to the end of there and you slip stitched into the top of the first chain, first stitch of the round 3, chain 1 to start round 4. And now this is where we're going to start squaring it off. So double treble, double treble, a double into the first stitch, a half treble into the next stitch, a treble into the next stitch, and now we're going to do a double treble. So double treble is yarn over twice, go through the next, go through the chain, stitch, yarn over, and then yarn over, and pull back through. So you've got 4 loops in your hook. Yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through this last 2. So that's what a double treble is. So we need to make the corner. So we make the corner by chaining 2, and then we're going to decrease to the middle. So we're going down, back down. We're going up size here. We're going down a size. So you start off with a double treble, a treble into the next stitch, a half into the next, and a double into the next, slip stitch into the next. And now we need, that is that first corner sorted. Now to make the next corner, we need to start going back up again. The slip stitch is going to be the middle of the row. So we now need to start with a double, a half into the next, a treble into the next, and then a double treble into the next. So chain 2 to make the corner, and like at this corner we need to go back down again. So we start off with a double treble into the next stitch, a treble into the next, a half into the next, a double into the next, and a slip stitch into the next. So just keep repeating this until you get to the next corner, and I'll meet back up with you. So once you've got to the last corner and you've done your last increase sort of thing, and you've done a treble into that stitch, you've chained 2 and you do your next double treble into the next stitch. In theory, you should have 4 more stitches left, so you should have a treble, a half, a double, and a slip stitch to do. Nope. So a treble, a half, a double, and a slip stitch. And then all we need to do now is slip stitch into the beginning chain. And that is the end of round 4. So let's square it up a bit. And now we're going to do one more round, 2 more rounds. The next round is a treble round, and the last round is a double round. So in the treble, in round 5 is the treble round, so chain 1, and then we're going to be doing a treble into every single stitch until you get to your chain 2 space. Oh, keeps catching on the end of my table there. So a treble into every single stitch until you get to your chain 2 space. Once you get to your chain 2 space like I am now, what we need to do now is put 2 trebles, a chain 2, and 2 more trebles, into that space. So it should look a bit like that. And now we're going to do a treble into every single stitch again until you get to your next chain 2 space. Like so, and I'll meet back up with you there. So once you get to your next chain 2 space, you're going to treat it exactly the same as your last chain 2 space and put 2 trebles, chain 2, and 2 more trebles into that space, and then just keep repeating this until you get to back to your beginning, and I'll meet back up with you. You are putting a treble into even into the slip stitch, that still counts as a stitch. So anyway, I'll meet back up with you at the beginning of the round. So I've made it back around now, and I'm going to slip stitch into the beginning treble that I've done, like so, and then chain 1. So round, that's what it's starting to look like. It's starting to look like a square now. So now what I'm going to do is at the finishing row, and that's a double crochet into every stitch until you get to the chain 2 space. Like so. Once you get to your chain 2 space, you're going to put 4, got the stuck on my finger there. You're going to put 4 doubles into every chain 2 space, and then just work a treble into every single, not a treble, a double into every stitch around until you get back to the starting point. Bearing in mind you're putting 4 into every single corner space. I'll meet you back at the beginning. Right, so I've come to the end of my last stitch, and then I'm going to slip stitch into the beginning double, pull up on my yarn and snip it off, like so. So that is what the squares are going to look like. So you'll have 3 rounds of the circles. It's not completely a square, but it's not far off. Each side you look at will have each side you'll look at will have the same amount of stitches into it. So you'll need to make 2 of these squares, and I'll meet back up here and I'll show you how I joined them. Right, so once you've got your 2 squares, however, let's adjust my. So once you've got your 2 squares, like I have sorted, you'll need to put one facing the right side of one facing the table or whatever away from you, and then put the other one with the right side facing you or up. And then I'm going to put my tails to this side so I can actually work over them. Now what we're going to do is I worked along the one side. I'm going to leave the top side undone until after I've joined them together. So I want to join them literally all the way along, leaving the top half undone. So what I'm going to do is put a slip knot on my hook, like so. And then, because we put a 4 into each corner space, I'm going to leave 2 of these undone and work into one of them. So I'm going to join my yarn into that one. Now, what I'm going to do is treble crochet in one side and then in another one in the other side. So it's kind of like a join as you go type thing. Which adds a bit more space into the actual bag itself. So we do that by slip stitching into the yarn into there and chaining 1. We then yarn over and do a treble crochet just like normal, and then yarn over and pick up the other one, the other square. And again, ignore the first 2 of the 4 doubles from that square and work into the 3rd one and do a treble into it, like so. And then we're going to work along this side and that side, literally putting a treble into that stitch, the next stitch, and then jumping across and putting a treble into that stitch. I'm working over my my tails at the same time. So literally all we're doing is putting a treble into every stitch on both squares, but doing it individually. So we're not actually joining the squares. We're just giving them. We are joining the squares, but we're giving it we're adding an extra inch or so. So that's all we're doing, and we're not doing anything special on the. Oh, gee. Sometimes it always happens. So we're just putting 1 treble into every stitch on both, doing 1 on 1 and then going on to either one, like so. And like I said, it adds about an extra inch or 2. And it actually I think it adds to the pattern a little bit. And we're not doing anything special into the actual corners. We're just doing exactly the same pattern all the way around. Oops, I'm moving my project away from the camera. As you can probably see, I'm coming up to my long tails on both sides. So yeah, that's all you're going to do all the way back to the finish, which will be in this corner, and I'll meet back up with you there. So once you've gone around and done your edge, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just put that back in there. That's my tails, which I need to go hide. I'm going to go back, I'm going to go around the top edge twice with double crochet just to steady it up a bit. So all I'm going to do is get a slip knot on my hook. Now it doesn't matter what chain you use, stitch you go into even. I'm just going to go into this one here. And I'm going to work over my short tail at the same time as well. Just give me one less tail to work in. Oh yeah, to work in at the end. So I'll slip stitch, chain 1, and then I'm going to go back into the same stitch and do a double crochet, and then another double crochet into the next stitch. Now I'm at the stitch where I did the joining the squares together. I'm going to go into that stitch as well, just to give it a bit more sturdy, and to try and close up that gap that will probably appear. And then I'm going to try and put 2 double crochets to the triple crochet that's here. So just like so. And then I'm going to put 1 into the actual top half of the stitch in the middle. Actually, no, 1 second. Yeah, more like there. Like so. And then again, 2 more. Into that stitch. Like so. And then hopefully that will straighten it up. And then again, like I did on this stitch here, I'm going to go straight into this stitch here where I've put the treble from the joining bit into there, like so. And then I'm just going to put 1 double into every stitch around, like so. And I'll meet, and we'll do exactly the same that we've done here on this side, when we get to it, and then 1 double in every stitch around, and I'll meet back up here. So once you got back onto the beginning, all we're going to do, you can, if you want, slip stitch into the beginning, double crochet, or just double crochet straight into it, and then double crochet in every single stitch all the way around, and that should tighten it up a little bit more. So I'm just going to repeat this until you get back to the beginning, and I'll meet back up with you. So once you have got back round, all you need to do is slip stitch into the beginning chain 1, beginning double crochet even. Don't know why I said chain 1 then. And then just tie off. And that's what it starts to look a bit like. And then all we need to do now is start doing the edge. Now, on the one that I showed you in the pictures and at the beginning of the tutorial, I did it over the strap over 4 stitches, but on this one I'm going to do it over 5, just give it a bit of a bigger strap. So what I'll need to do then is literally join do a slip knot onto your hook and join into There'll be 5 stitches over the actual middle half of the where we joined. So there'll be 1 in the middle, 2 on either side. So if you do put it into one of the 2s on that side, you can make your strap bigger if you want, or smaller. So once I've got it on like so, I'll chain 1, and then go back into that stitch and do a double, and do a double into your next, not into the same one, into your next stitch, double into your next stitch, double into the next. And I'm doing 5 on this one. I'm going to the next one, and that will be the amount of stitches that I'll have on every single row for the length of the strap. Now the length of the strap, so row 2 of the strap, you literally need to chain 1, turn your work, and then put a double crochet into every stitch across. Like so, and then you just repeat in row number 2 as many times as you want until you get to the end. Well, I say until you get to the end, get to your desired length. So that will vary depending on your personal preference. Got to chain 2 there. So I'm gonna do, I think I'm gonna do about 40 to 50 rows, and then I'll meet back up with you then. So we're just repeating row number 2 of the strap until you get to your desired length, and I'll meet back up with you then. So once you've got your handle strap to the size that you want, what I'm going to do is literally make sure that the actual strap itself isn't twisted, and then match it up, the 5 stitches, match the 5 stitches up with the 5 stitches of the side of the bag. Couldn't think of the word then. So that 1, 2, 3. So that's there. Now you can either sew it up or do what I'm going to do, which is I'm going to slip stitch it. And I think I've just pulled out doing that. I'm going to slip stitch it. So yeah, find the first stitch with, and pair it up with the first stitch of the other one, and just slip stitch it like so. So just like that. Do make sure you get the last stitch. If you're like me, it's always the tighter one. and then just feed it. And then I'm just going to trim a little bit of this because I don't need that bit. And then what I'm going to do is just literally hide my tails. So hopefully once you You've got your hand. I haven't done a big handle on this one because this material does actually stretch. Which is what I found out on the other one. So what I'm going to do now is literally tie my ends in, and then that's relatively it. I am also going to, on this one and on my other one, I'm going to line it and put a zip in at the top. So I will show you the finished project probably in my community tab of my YouTube page. So if you go and have a look at that in a couple of weeks, you'll probably see a finished picture of it. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial, and I'll see you next time.